Welcome to
Cowhide Stories for GG Kids.
a place where
Kids like us
we'll be inspired
by awesome Christian stories.
Attention class, please stay together and I want everyone to stay with their adult helper. I don't want anyone getting lost.
Hi boys and girls, it's Esther here.
Hello, and it's Poppy. And guess what? We're on an excursion.
We are at the zoo and we are going to see animals like giraffes and elephants. What other animals do you think, Poppy?
Well, I was actually thinking about what Mrs. Roberts said. She said we could get lost. I don't want to get lost at the zoo. I'm scared.
Well, she did say that we had to stay together. But you know what else? If you're feeling afraid, I have a great Bible verse that you can learn and the boys and girls can learn.
Really?
Do you want me to tell you it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in Psalms 56:3 it says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." And that means that you are putting your trust in Jesus.
Oh, I love it. Oh, boys and girls, help me learn it too. We can learn it together. I love it.
I think it's a great idea. And the other thing, I know that there's something special in your glitter box.
Oh, yes, there is. Okay, boys and girls, in my glitter box this time, I want you to design your very own zoo map. I've done one too, and I'm going to put it up on the blog so you can see it and get ideas. Make sure you have a try. You can put any animal that you love on your map and name it after yourself. Mine's called Poppy's Zoo. Anyway, that's all from me. Till next time, bye.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to do my own zoo. I'm going to call it Esther's Zoo. And do exciting animals in it too.
Okay class, our first stop is going to be the dingoes. Let's follow the signs. Please stick together. I don't want anyone getting lost.
Esther, do you think anyone's gotten lost before? I mean, at the zoo?
I think so. But, I have a story.
You do?
I actually have a story about a little boy called Lost at the Zoo.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
I know, it's a really good one, written by my friend Rosie Smith. Do you want me to tell you that story while we walk?
Please.
Oh, but before we do that, we have a shout out.
Oh, I love shout-outs. Who have we got?
Well, today we have a little girl called Katika. I hope I pronounced that right. She is 5 years old from San Francisco, California.
Oh, hello, Katika. How are you? Thank you for writing to us. We loved your letter.
And Katika says that she listens to the stories in the car on her way to school.
Oh, we just love it. We hope you really are enjoying them.
Thank you so much for listening, Katika, and thank you for sending us your beautiful email. You made us really, really happy.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, what is the story, Esther?
Oh, yes, let's start. Lost at the Zoo, written by Rosie Smith. Come on, Aidan, time to go. Dad called out as he scooped up 2-year-old Bella and headed out the door. I can't find my binoculars. Aidan huffed as he rummaged through his drawers. Where had he put them? He could hear the car engine starting up. The whole family were now waiting for him. Again. He already imagined the taunts he would receive from his older brother and sister, but he wouldn't let them ruin his day. Today they were going to the zoo. So Aidan gave up his search and ran out the door. His heart pounded with excitement as they pulled into the parking lot. He couldn't wait to see the tigers and crocodiles in real life. Now that he was 5, maybe he would be big enough to see over the fence. His family piled out of the car. Dad, his other siblings Mia and Daniel, younger sister Bella, and Mum with baby Charlotte in her arms. Now, said Dad, as they lined up for tickets. There are a lot of us, and it's a busy place, so I want you all to promise to stay together, okay? Okay. Okay, Dad, they echoed. Dad paid for the tickets while Mum perused the map. Ooh, it looks like we might be in time for the tortoise show, she said. Boring, Daniel groaned. Yeah, can't we just go straight to the tigers? Aidan asked. I want to feed the kangaroos. Mia clapped. Hang on, Dad boomed. We are all staying together and everyone will get a turn to see what they want, okay? Seeing the look on their faces, he added. And if I hear another complaining, we can go straight home. The children walked in silence as Mum pushed the pram towards the tortoise enclosure. While they sat waiting for the show to start, Aidan looked over the map, trying to make sense of the tiny diagrams. The presenter began speaking. Aidan craned his neck to see over the tall man sitting in front. His family were pressed in close together amongst the crowd. He was trapped. Aidan felt hot and bored, and he waited for the show to finish. When they finally made their way out, Aidan let out a sigh of relief. Can we see the tigers now? He asked hopefully. Not quite, Mum said. It's all the way over the other side of the zoo. We will go there later. Slowly they made their way past the different lizards, frogs and snakes. Aidan felt a little disappointed when he saw the snakes all curled up and unmoving. He thought snakes would have been a bit more exciting than that. Mia was thrilled when they visited the kangaroo paddock. Even Aidan enjoyed feeding them with little white pellets. He also enjoyed watching Dad trying to stop Bella from pulling their tails. Afterward, it was time for lunch. Aidan's family joined the throng of people at the food court. They found a picnic table and Aidan quickly gobbled down his burger. He didn't want to be late for the crocodile show. The amphitheatre was huge. Rows upon rows of benches lined the stadium, and in the centre was a big blue pool. Aidan didn't have any trouble seeing the show this time. Applause echoed off the walls as the presenters ran in, introducing the massive dinosaur-like creatures. Aidan watched in awe as the big jaw snapped up the meat. He clenched the edge of his seat as a crocodile slowly floated towards the presenter. Was it going to eat him? He thought nervously. But just in time, the presenter jumped up to the safety of the platform, explaining how important it was to stay away from the water's edge in crocodile territory. Once the show was over, they continued through the zoo. Baby Grace and Bella were starting to get tired and cranky. Mum did a few laps trying to get them to sleep in the pram, but it didn't work. Listen, kids, she said. The girls need to sleep. We might need to call it a day. Oh, already? Mia cried. But we didn't see the birds show, Daniel echoed. I really want to see the tigers, Aidan added. Mum sighed. I tell you what, we will stay for the bird show and then leave after that. Mia, Aidan, you already got to see something you wanted, so I think that's fair. Seeing their disappointment, she added, be grateful. It seemed everyone in the whole zoo was flocking to see the bird show. Aidan's family squeezed in at the end of a bench while Aidan and Mia sat on the row behind. As the show began, Aidan glanced at the exit. Maybe I could quickly go and see the tigers and come back before the show finishes, he thought to himself. Picturing the map in his mind, he was sure it wasn't that far. While his family were immersed in the flying parade of lorikeets, Aidan slipped off the bench and made his escape. He ran past the wombats, through the bird aviary and past the koalas, looking eagerly at every sign. I'm sure it was just over here, he thought. He came to a junction in the path and to his relief saw a cat-like figure on the sign, pointing to the left. Oh, this way, he muttered to himself. The path stretched on for what seemed like forever. He strained his eyes to see any sign of the tigers, but all he could see were trees. Looking back anxiously, he wondered whether he should go back to his family. His father's words replayed in his mind. Promise to stay together, okay? Aidan thought he could see the end of the road. Surely they must be close, he thought hopefully, and on he went. Meanwhile, the rest of the family clapped as the birds returned to their keepers, concluding the show. Aidan's mum and dad gathered up their belongings, strapped the young girls in the pram and shuffled their way out of the exit. It was only when they got outside that they realized Aidan was missing. Where's Aidan? Dad asked, scanning the dispersing crowd for any sign of his curly brown head. "I thought he left to go to the toilet," Mia said. "But that was a while ago." She bit her lip. Mum was already pacing towards the toilet block, calling out his name. "Oh, Aidan," Dad said angrily. He swallowed the lump in his throat, trying to disguise his fear. "Okay, you kids stay with your mother and find a ranger. I've got my phone, so tell her to call me if she finds him before I do." And with that he ran away, calling for Aidan as he went. Aidan had walked past giraffes and zebras all the way to the meerkat enclosure, but there was no sight of any tigers. By now he was determined to go back to his family, certain the show would have finished. "I'm going to be in such big trouble," Aidan thought as he ran up the road he had come. Or so he thought. Everything looked different than he remembered. There was now water where there had been trees before. "I'm sure this is the way I came," he thought to himself. He stopped as he rounded a corner, tears welling up in his eyes. "I'm lost." He looked around to ask someone for help, but the road was empty. "Maybe the zoo is closing," Aidan thought miserably. "Maybe my family have gone home without me." Aidan buried his face in his hands and wept. Where could he be? Aidan's dad prayed as he ran down the road. "Dear God, please help me find my boy." Then a thought sprung into his mind. Tigers! He had wanted to see the tigers. He quickly searched for signs and saw the tiger figure pointing to the left. When he got to the junction, he hesitated. Which way would he have gone? Aidan's dad followed the sign for the tigers, hoping to see that familiar little face. Reaching the tiger enclosure, his heart sunk when he saw no sight of Aidan. "Have you seen a young boy? Curly brown hair?" he asked a tourist nearby. The man shook his head. Without wasting another moment, Aidan's dad continued following the bend in the road, calling for Aidan once again. Aidan lifted his head and looked around. He was sure he had heard something. Then he heard it again. Yes, it sounded like someone shouting his name. Aidan jumped up and ran towards the sound. "Mom, Dad!" he cried. Then he saw running towards him with outstretched arms was his father. Aidan had never felt so relieved, so safe, with his father's arms wrapped around his little body. "Aidan," he said with a snuffle in his voice. "Buddy, you scared us." "I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm sorry." Aidan sniffled into his chest. Aidan's dad held him tight. "Come on, we better call your mum so she can stop worrying." Aidan nodded. After the call, they walked hand in hand up the zoo path. Aidan looked up at his dad nervously. "Are you angry with me?" he asked. His dad snorted. "You bet I am. But," he added, his eyes brimming with tears, "I'm more happy that I found you. That hour you were gone felt like an eternity. I never want to lose you again." Did you know that God loves you even more than Aidan's dad loves him? When we wander away from God and find ourselves lost in sin, our Heavenly Father never stops searching for us, calling us to Himself. And when we are found, all of heaven rejoices with Him.
Oh, that was such a lovely story. I was a little bit nervous for him, but it was so good that his father found him.
I know, it's so beautiful. I'm glad he was safe and sound, but it's important to know never to run away or leave Mum or Dad's side.
I know, I won't leave your side, Esther.
No, you can stay here with me in our little group.
All right, let's go to the next one. I wonder what it's going to be.
Oh, Mrs. Roberts is going to talk again. Let's listen.
Okay, boys and girls, please pay attention to me. It's time to go watch the bird show. Let's go!
I love the bird shows. They'll have so many exotic animals there.
Yes, how exciting. Ooh, I can't wait. Okay, boys and girls, that's all from us. Till next time.
Bye. I want to keep a bird.
And don't forget, girls, you are Gigi, gorgeous in God's image. And boys, you are also Gigi, great in God's image.